Now that we've increased our top constraints, we've placed our first floor slab and created the opening for the stairs. The next stage is to bring up all of our columns as well as our windows. And our first floor layout is a copy of our ground floor layout. Instead of us going around placing all of these windows again, as well as redrawing those internal partitions and placing those doors, we're able to use a selection filter to select what we want, then copy it to the clipboard, and we're able to paste it up a level to the exact position of the ground floor. What I'm going to do is close down any hidden windows that I have currently open. I'm going to open up my ground floor plan, hitting WT for my window tile, so we can see in the 3D view our changes taking effect. Next, we'll go over to the ground floor plan and we'll start to use our selection filter. Earlier I showed you the two different methods of creating a selection. We'll either go to the top left corner, drag down to the bottom right to make a selection window, or we start down the bottom right, moving up to the top left, creating a crossing window. For this method, I'm going to use the crossing window, and what we're going to do is highlight this side of the building, ignoring the left-hand side. Starting from the bottom right-hand corner, click once and drag over this section of the building, trying not to get any of the information on the left-hand side included, and letting go. Once we've made the selection, our contextual tab appears and our selection panel appears. In there is our filter. We'll select filter. The filter panel here displays everything that's currently selected. It also counts them for us, which is a great tool if we're trying to count certain objects in the project. First off, as an example, I'm just going to select my columns. So instead of deselecting each one, I can come to the right hand side and select check none. And then I want my columns to be selected as well as my structural columns. Once I have them ticked on, I'll then press apply. And you'll see that they are now highlighted in blue, and press OK. Now that we have all of our columns highlighted, what we're going to do is do the exact same as we did with our external walls. We're going to increase our top constraint to the roof level. So we'll come over to the properties palette under constraints, go to the top level heading, hit the drop down arrow and select roof. Again, the changes won't take effect unless we press apply or simply move our cursor into the drawing. There you can see on the 3D view, all of the columns have increased in height up to the roof level. As I said earlier, the first floor plan layout is a copy of the ground floor plan layout. Again, we're going to use our selection filter, so click and hold, drag the cursor over the building. Try not to get the left hand side again, but if you do, we can deselect it and let go. Next, we'll go to our filter and we'll check none, so everything's turned off. Now we can use our filter to add in the components that we wanted to copy up to our first floor. We've already done our columns, so we'll leave that off. We want to bring our doors up. Elevations, we don't. Floors, no. Grids, columns, views, no. We do want our walls and windows. So once we have those three selected, our doors, walls, and windows, we'll press apply and press OK. But as we've selected walls, both the external and the internal fall under the same category, so they're both highlighted. We don't want our external walls to be copied up because then they'll be duplicated over each other. So we need to deselect those external walls. So to deselect a component, hold down the Shift key. When you hold down the Shift key, you'll see a little negative symbol appears on my cursor. And we can then select the external walls and what we don't want to be selected. If you accidentally select one of the partitions, to reselect it, hold down the Control key and that will bring it back into the selection. So hold down the Shift to deselect, hold down Control to include it in the selection. As well, the structural opening we don't want to be included. As well, this window here, we don't want that to be included as well. So all that we have included are our windows, our internal partitions, and our internal doors. Once they are selected, we'll go to our clipboard. And here we have our cut and copy. So we want to select copy to clipboard, and all of our windows, internal partitions and doors are now added to our clipboard, and our paste icon appears now. If you hit the arrow under the paste, you can see the different options we have. If you choose the paste from clipboard, this is simply just going to paste those elements into the clipboard for you to then place yourself. Next is the aligned to selected levels. Here you're able to paste multiple elements from one level to a number of levels. Next is aligned to selected views. Here you're able to paste your selected elements into a specific view. Next is aligned to current views. You're able to paste elements that were cut or copied from one view into another. Next is the aligned to same place. This will paste the elements to the same place from where they were cut or copied. And then we have aligned to picked level. That'll paste the selected elements into an elevation or a section view. We're going to use the aligned to selected levels. So we've highlighted our ground floor elements. We've then added them to our clipboard, and we're now going to align them to our first floor plan. So we'll select aligned to selected levels. Then all of the levels that are currently in the project will be displayed. We then just have to select them. So we'll select our first floor, press OK, and then you can see in the 3D view, all of our windows, internal doors, and internal partitions have now been copied up to our first floor.